everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well, and I apologize for the recent absence. I've been tied up with various tasks, but here's the exciting news. We are back and ready to tackle some cloud related labs on ownedlabs.io. They might be new in the business, but they have already created some fantastic content on their platform. So in this video, we are going to solve an S3 enumeration lab, and I'll be sharing my notes with you as well. But before we jump right in, I want to give you a heads up that you will need a bit of knowledge about the AWS CLI for this lab. Don't worry, they have also provided a detailed blog or walkthrough to help you out. But having some basic understanding of AWS cloud services and AWS CLI, especially S3 service, will be super handy. So without further delay, let's get started with our lab. So I have already logged in. Okay, you have to sign up first, and after that you can sign in. And let me search the lab, that is S3 enumeration. Click on find labs, and here we have this lab. Okay, this is AWS S3 enumeration basics. Overview is we created this beginner friendly lab to give an introduction to one of the most popular AWS services, that is S3 simple storage service, and show how attackers can use it to get foothold and escalate privileges in the cloud environment. Okay, so let's play the machine. And the best part is we don't have to, use the open VPN to connect. It's super easy, by the way. I like the interface. I like the color of this website. So the machine is on in my case because I have already solved this lab. Okay, so entry point, we have this website. Okay, dave.hugelogistics.com, and we have to submit the flag here. And the scenario is it's your first day on the red team. Great. And you have been tasked with examining a website that was found in a phished employee's bookmarks. Okay, check it out and see where it leads. In scope is the company's infrastructure, including cloud services. So the cloud services are in scope. Great. Here we have the lab prerequisites. You just need to have a basic Linux command line knowledge, and we have this learning outcome, that familiarity with the AWS CLI, basic S3 enumeration and credential exfiltration, and an awareness on how the scenario could be been prevented. So I've already make my own notes after solving this lab. Difficulty is beginner and focus is on our red team. Great. So here we have the real world context that Amazon S3, that is simple storage service, is a popular and the second oldest AWS service that is used to store files, okay, and backups, and can even be used to serve website, the static website. We have already hosted a static website on S3. We have created this pigeon related website. Okay, it was a static website, and if you want to check that out, I will put the link in the description box. So this multi-use functionality has led some to argue that this service would be more secure if it were split into separate public web hosting and private file storage services. So in recent years, AWS have introduced more visuals warning when customers are making buckets world readable. Okay, they're publicly accessible. Okay, but still, if this setting is available, people will set it. Misconfigurations and overly permissive settings in S3 have resulted in many data breaches over the years. So at the end, we will also see how this data breach occurred. Okay, so here we have a walkthrough. So let me just first copy the link, and I will open this link in my Kali Linux because it is not a secure site. Okay. We make your transport simple. This is a website. Truckload 500 kg. home shift, sorry, food commodities, estimate. Okay, method not allowed. Okay, so it's a static website, obviously. We don't have any useful information here, so let's see the source code. Right click on this website and click on view page source. Okay, and here you guys can see we have S3 buckets. Let me directly click on that. And okay, this is a favicon.png. That doesn't useful. Okay, it is a style.css. It is accessible. Great. Okay, let me remove the style.css and let's check the static. Okay, it is not working. Let's see the bucket. Okay, so it is saying that error, access denied. So we are receiving this access denied error. Okay, not an issue. Now let's examine this bucket using the CLI. Okay. Okay, I have opened my terminal. I've already created this directory, and this will be our lab one, that is S3 enumeration, and I'm inside this folder. What I will write, first of all, you have to download the AWS CLI. Okay, that is the first step. So the first step is download the AWS CLI. We'll put the link in the description box so you will have this easy access. So here we have this installer update the latest version of the AWS CLI, and you will have these three options. Like if you are using Linux, click on this, and I have just used this curl command. Okay, copy it. After that, unzip this folder, AWS CLI version 2 zip folder, and then run the script. Okay, AWS install. Okay, and for Windows and Mac, it's a very simple and easy process. You just have to download the GUI installer. Okay, click on this if you are using the Mac OS. So run your download files and follow the on-screen instruction. You just have to click on next and just run the script. Same thing goes with Windows as well. Okay, you guys can copy it as well as you can download the MSI installer for Windows. Okay, it is for the 64-bit. I have already set up this, so let me show you. After installation, if you write AWS, you will see these things. Okay, AWS help. So that means you have successfully installed the AWS CLI. Okay, so let's list the S3 bucket files, and we'll use S3. And here we have the action, that is we are listing the file, and we have provided the bucket name. Okay, S3 dave.hugelogistic.com. So if you just hit enter, you will see unable to locate credential. You can configure credential by running AWS configure, but we don't have credential, right? So for that matter, what we will use the no sign request. It would attempt to use any local configuration AWS credentials. So let me just write it here. No sign request. Okay, now let's hit enter. Okay, so we have got this admin folder, migration files, shared folder, static folder, and index.html. Now let's check the admin. Okay, for that matter, we have to use the same command and write admin. We are listing the admin folder or admin files. So the access is denied. Okay, we cannot access that directory. Let me change it. Migration files. Okay, now let's hit enter. Okay, so the access denied. So we cannot access admin and migration files. Let's access the static file. static. Okay, we have this script.js, style.css, and logo.png. So we are left with the shared folder. Okay, shared. Okay, is it correct? The spelling shared. Yeah. So let me just clear the screen and let's hit enter. Okay. So we have this migration project.zip file. Okay. So we have to download this file, right? So let's download this migration file. Okay. Let me hit ls and we have this migration project.zip. Let me unzip this. Okay, let's write ls and we have this migrate secrets.ps1. It is a PowerShell script, by the way. Okay, so we have got this file. Now let's see the walkthrough. Okay, walkthrough. Okay, so we have done the initial inspection. So, and we have done the CLI. Okay, we have done this step as well. So we know that admin and migration files directories are not publicly accessible. Okay, but we have found this migration project.zip. Okay, we have unzipped this file. Okay, we have already unzipped this. So here they have mentioned that the script contains hard-coded AWS keys, and the purpose of the script seems to be to take existing secrets that are stored in an XML file and store them in AWS Secret Manager. It is an AWS service, by the way. And the Secret Manager is a service that helps you securely store, manage, and retrieve secrets like API keys and database credentials. Okay, so let's cat this file. Let me write ls cat migrate secret.ps1, and if you scroll up you will see these credentials. Okay, now let me open my notepad. These are my notes, by the way, for serverless computing. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. Okay, this is the access key and the secret access key, and the region is US East 1, that is Northern Virginia. Okay, great. Let's configure these credentials. Let me copy the access key and we're going to use the AWS configure command. And first we have to provide the access key. Then we have to provide the secret access key. So let me copy it and paste it here. Hit enter. And the default region is US East 1. Paste it here. Hit enter. Default output format none. Okay. Okay, so we have already done this step. So instead of using whoami command, we have to use this get caller identity command, because if you see the AWS CLI command reference, you will see that to get the detail about the current IAM identity. Okay, so the following command get caller identity that displays information about the IAM identity used to authenticate the request. Okay, so we have to use this command. So let me copy it and let's paste it here and hit enter. So we have this pam-test user. This is a user ID and this is an account. Okay, and this is the ARN, that is Amazon resource name. Okay, let's see the walkthrough. So this reveals the IAM username pam-test, and we can assume, given the nature of the script, that PAM stand for Privilege Access Management. Okay, so let's now examine again the admin directory, and here we have the note that no sign-in request switch has been removed, since we now have a valid AWS credentials, and we want to sign our request with the set keys. Okay, great. So let's copy this command and let me clear the screen. Let's see we can access the admin files or not. Okay, we have this flag.txt and website transaction export.csv, right? Now let's download the flag.txt. An error occurred when calling the head object operation, forbidden. Okay, we are copying this website transaction export.csv to our current directory. Let me hit enter, and it is also forbidden. Okay, let's see the walkthrough. That this reveal a website transaction export files and also the flag. Unfortunately, we are unable to download either using our current credentials. Okay, so we got more luck with the migration files directory. So let's go to the migration file. Okay, because now we can access two files, the admin and the migration files. So let me clear the screen and paste this command. Okay, cool. We have these four files. We have already seen the migrate secret.ps1. Okay, we have already seen that PowerShell script. We have this test export.xml and the AWS secret manager migration discovery and design PDF and implementation PDF. Great. Now what's next? So among PDFs related to the migration projects are the migration secret script and also the test export.xml file. Okay, so we have to copy this file. Let me copy this command. So we are copying this test export.xml file. Let me hit enter. Okay, it is downloaded. Let's write ls, and we have this text export XML. So let's cat it, test export XML. Cool. So we have got some high privilege users credential. First we have this Oracle database user. Okay, his password is admin, username is admin, and password is password123. And we also have HP server credentials. Okay, and we also have this AWS production credentials, and the service type is AWS IT admin. And we have this access key ID and the secret access key ID. And here we have the note that AWS credentials for production workloads do not share these keys outside of the organization. Great. Okay. And here we have the admin account credentials. Great. So we are more interested in this production credential. Let's see the walkthrough. Downloading the file, we see more high privilege credentials, and this include an IT admin entry. Yes, we have seen that. Okay, so we have to configure it, right? So let me first copy it and paste it here. Okay, so let me copy the access key, and we have to write the same step, that is AWS configure And here we have to provide the IT admin access key. Then we have to provide the secret access key. Let me copy it and paste it here. And obviously the region is US East 1, so I'm gonna set it as default region, default output format. Great. Now we have to write this get caller identity command, and now we are an IT admin. That's great. Okay, so we have configured it. Now let's see the next step. So the admin account is allowed to access the admin folder, and inside we see an export of users' credit card numbers and other personally identifiable information in clear text. Okay, now let's get this flag.txt. Okay, and we have to use the flag.txt. I'm using the cp command, and we are downloading it in our current folder. Okay, let me hit ls, and our flag.txt is here. We also have this website transaction export. So let me copy it and paste it here. Now let's hit enter. ls, and we have got the csv and flag.txt. Let me get our website transaction.csv. So we have this visa and the credit card numbers, and let's get our flag. Okay, so let me copy it and let's scroll up, and here you have to paste the flag and submit it. Okay, I have already submitted the flag, right? So the flag is already submitted. Great. So we have successfully pawned this lab. So I have created these nodes, okay, that AWS S3 enumeration basics, and I have provided the bucket name, and inside the bucket, by using the CLI, we can access these 4 folders and 1 file, okay, the admin and migration files, static and shared file, right? Initially, we don't have any access to our admin and migration files, right? In static folder, we didn't find anything useful, right? But in shared folder, we have find this migration project.zip, and in that they have hard coded the PAM credential. Okay, we have unzipped this file and we found the PAM credential. After finding this credential, we have configured this PAM credential, and then we can see the content of the admin file. Okay, but we cannot download this file. Okay, we cannot copy the files. That is the reason I've said access denied here. By using this credential, we can access the migration files, right? And in the text export.xml file, we have found the AWS IT admin access keys and secret access key. And after that, the access was granted. So this is just a short overview, like what we have done. So let's see what are the issue that leads to this data breach. So the first point is mixed use of S3 bucket. Okay, the S3 bucket was used for multiple purposes, including hosting a static website and storing sensitive files. So this mixing of function should have been avoided. Next is publicly shared directory or world readable shared directory. So in this case, we know that the shared directory was made publicly accessible, which could have been done to share a migration script with an external contractor. However, this posed a significant risk or security risk, as anyone on the internet could access that file, right? We can easily access that migration file inside the shared folder, right? Next point is hard-coded AWS credentials. So the AWS credentials were hard-coded directly into the script, and we have to avoid it, right? And this allow unauthorized access to the cloud environment, and this is a serious security vulnerability. Next, we have this access to high privilege credentials. So this breach allowed access to the high privilege credentials in an XML export from a secure PAM system, right? And this posing a major risk to the security of both on-premises and the cloud infrastructure. Okay. And the last step that we have learned is unencrypted customer data. The compromised account also had access to the unencrypted data. It's a customer data, right? We have seen the credit cards and names, first name, last name, and the password and username, everything. So it is potentially exposing confidential information, right? And creating the risk of financial loss and identity theft. So to prevent such breaches in the future, it is essential to separate the usage of S3 buckets, secure shared directories, and avoid hard coding sensitive credentials, and ensure proper encryption and access control are in place. So this is what we have learned in this lab. This is just a suggestion for you that please create your own notes. I have already created mine here. I'm good with PPTs, so the step-by-step process. Step one, check the website source code. Next step is examine bucket using AWS CLI, and just copy paste your output, okay, terminal output. It will be really easy for you to understand. I'm just documenting my learning. Check the shared directory and everything. I have done everything. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you like it. If you did, then please share this video with your friends who are learning cloud security and who are interested in cloud penetration testing. And make sure that you guys are subscribing to my YouTube channel, and we'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care and keep learning. Bye bye.